Honestly, I feel like I need my in-home care provider to be here like on the daily basis. Like all you have to do is just go hang out at the pool, and whenever I need you, I'll text you. Just stay close to your phone. And whenever I need packages picked up, dishes done, just please do it. You get what I mean? And versus me just have like I feel like I'm never like I know I'm recovering, but I feel like it takes a lot longer to recover when you keep having to do all this extra work, pick up little things. Like these are things that I'm always struggling with on a daily basis. Like even if the job gets done, it doesn't get done well. You get what I mean? It's still, I mean, I don't want to say like I'm doing just, I don't want to beat myself up, but that's what my in-home care provider is for. Another thing that I had an issue is like I just feel like my caseworker, Isaac, he's a really cool guy. He's not responding to me. Like he responds, but whenever he responds like he responds with he responds with hold on. He responds with something completely off topic, something that, like, for instance, I told Isaac, can you please tell me what Brilliant Corners is up to? Like, if they send the orders, or clearly because what happened was, I guess I left the box downstairs, and instead of Felipe sending me a message or calling me, like he said, he's like, Sandra, I'll call you, and he never called. So I'm like, ugh. Like when people say that they're going to do something and they end up not doing it because supposedly I'm not their first priority, or maybe they got busy or whatever the issue is, it just makes them look like they're just not people that are punctual, that are keeping their word. You get what I mean? Which makes me wonder what people are doing during their free time. You get what I mean? Because when you start going out, dating, doing different things versus doing your work, which we want you to have a good time, but your work is the most important thing. Like I don't go out, I don't party, I don't waste time with other people. I make sure I work on recovering so that I can actually get better, and hopefully one day I can do something more useful. And I think this is very useful. You're going to need someone to give feedback on these products and to give direction on which way to go, because everybody else can't do it on their own. They're busy, right? So it's like, for me, it's like I bought this. Your feedback is absolutely important. All the owners always say your feedback is important. Your feedback is important. Don't get mad when people give you honest feedback, right? Be better, do better, change, get better. Don't get angry, get better, right? So the issue here was like, okay, so I go all the way downstairs. Somehow, the delivery people don't know how to work the door system. So it's like there is a system where, there is a computer right there that you have to use to get inside. You can't just get inside. So I did tell the delivery guy to just call me in case he just doesn't know how to get inside the building, and he did, which is a good thing. He followed my instructions. But there's also a code on there where he can use the code and get in and come upstairs, right? So I want you guys that are employees of Amazon, employees of companies, to really focus on these companies. These companies did not sleep, right? They worked on building these jobs and creating these job opportunities for you guys, so that you guys can actually have a job. So especially if they're paying you a good amount of money, you have to put in the good amount of work. So I text Isaac and I'm telling him, hey Isaac, so what did Brilliant Corners say? Right? Just did you call? Did you just talk to me? And I don't mean to put pressure, but it just gives me clarity versus confusion, right? Communication is always key. So this is something where I would tell Trump, like, hey Trump, why not send employees? This is why the Democrats are hiring people that are foreigners and letting them into the country. We're letting them into the country because you guys are not helping them enough. right? You guys are not helping them. There's you know, they need so much support. They need caseworkers. They need, you know, and while everybody else in the Republicans are partying, going to endless parties, senseless parties too, right? Talking about Democrats versus being a helping hand. So yeah, this really bothered me. It was cracked. I was like, dang. So learn from your mistakes, guys. Do not buy a used product on Amazon. Don't even bother buying it, because if you do buy used products, there's a chance that this product is not going to work. They're not going to be clear about the product. They're not going to be clear about what's wrong with the product, because I highly doubt. I mean, Amazon being a billion-dollar business should hire people with those billions of dollars to make sure these machines are working. These machines have to be tested out when they return. This is why we're all like, you know, it's hard for us to get back to work. It's hard because we're busy trying. Imagine a person that works on a daily basis, orders an item, but then that item ends up not working, and they have to work the next day, and they never and they can't return that item because they don't have no one to help them return that item. You understand what I'm saying? So that really, really annoys. And that's absolutely annoying for a lot of people, and it holds people back. Like, you get what I mean? And you wonder what's wrong with your employees, what's going on with your employees. Make sure you're not spending more money on yourself than you are on your employees, on making sure that they're getting the proper training, making sure they're well educated, making sure that they're punctual, that they're eating well. This is a very important step to being a great employee, is eating healthy, not drinking alcohol, making sure that they're not drinking, not drinking on the job, not drinking at home. Because I've realized when you drink at home, you're distracted. I know you think that you're drinking responsibly, but eventually you're just going to keep falling. Every time pressure hits, you're going to keep falling for a drink or two. I started out drinking little, and next thing you knew, I was an alcoholic. Now, I know that you guys love to say it's your personal business. Okay, but also the company that you work for is their personal business, right? So it's like, if they're doing their part and you're not doing their part, then you're not being a team player. You're not being fair. And I don't think it's right for them to just have the same, you know, I think there should be lined up social workers to replace the ones that are just not, it's not that you're not good, you're just not effective. Right? So this company could be making a lot more money. This company could be great, but because they have someone that's not responsive, someone that brings their personal issues to work. Those kind of personal issues are what prevents you from actually doing a good job, right? You have to get those personal issues out, or go to therapy, making sure that your social workers, from supervisor to the manager, that they're getting the therapy that they need, that they're getting the lessons that they need to be better employees. So the goal is not to make you feel bad about who you are, but the goal is to make sure that you understand your position, and the goal is to making sure that you know how serious and important you are to the company, right? But it doesn't mean you won't be replaced if you're not so good, right? But then it might look like, oh, there's not enough people to replace. So for me, it's like, I worked so hard to rest every day, and I'm not just sleeping. I'm literally posting these videos, which is not very easy. You know, I don't do too much shopping, but I buy everything that I know I need. Seeing if I'm addicted to ice cream. I love ice cream. Instead of spending $5, $6 on a bucket of ice cream, why not buy an ice cream machine where I can have access to ice cream for free all day, every day, until I'm sick of it? You know, so I'm thinking about saving my money. It's not just a luxury. It's actually saving my money so that, you know, especially if we're working with very little. And then I think that it's just completely unfair that you know, Trump is not adding more money on disability. You know, on disability, we understand that people that don't have disabilities, why should they get funded? Why should they have money, right? Like I said before, people in the AA community, especially the poor ones, need a special funding for themselves because of the abuse they faced back in the days. That's why they're poor. They have a poor mindset. You know, a lot of you guys, I mean, they awarded a lot of, like, you know, this has nothing to do with like this is not, has nothing to do with racism, but this is the topic that we always have, where it's like other communities come and they end up taking resources from where it's needed. But I also want to remind the people in the AA community that those resources are going to be taken if you refuse to learn, to listen, to help, to at least be calm, to at least be patient. You still have to have a certain mind or something to be able to go actually pick up the funds, right? This is where the in-home care provider comes in. In-home care providers need training, right? And it's like, how are you going to get better if you don't let your in-home care provider help you? Like I saw the one lady at Radius who was opening the door for herself, and she was literally in her wheelchair, and the Spanish lady was watching her. Her in-home care provider was just watching her open the door. I'm like, you have to open the door for her. Like, why do I have to tell you that? You should know that, right? That sometimes the clients say, I can do it myself.